What's going on, guys? I'm back at you on the last part of this Jalen Ramsey interview. Let's take a look at this.
And that was the hardest thing I ever had to do. In that split second of my mind, I told him, I said, nah, that's not enough. I'm gonna be fine.
Do you think having a dog like David Mulugeta, who just negotiated Deshaun Watson's deal for $230 million guaranteed, do you think having somebody like that as your agent gives you a confidence in that you're gonna make sure you
100%.
get what you're supposed to get?
Yeah, 100%. One, I'm a bet on me. On me.
Right.
You have to say that. If you say anything else, you just sound crazy. So yeah, you have to.
That's one. And then two, I'm like, I know you can. I know what you can do. I know you can.
I've seen it.
I know you can go. My trust is fully into you. Because it wasn't just like, oh, 97 ain't good enough, hang up on him. I didn't do that to David. It was more like, he told me hey, they said that this was their final offer. 97.7 or whatever it was. That's initially what the Rams that came in said that was their final offer. And then I asked them
well, that's because that's all they have on their cap. They can't give you more than that. And usually the team that you're on, they can't give you more than the market can. Usually it's a crap team that doesn't have a lot of players that can give you the most. But you're on a loaded team, so you should be grateful they can give you anything at all.
I think that's their true final. I asked him that. I was like, that ain't going to be enough. Do you think it's their true final, or I play out this year and I hit free agency next year? He was like, I can't tell you.
This man said that ain't gonna be enough. 96 million ain't gonna be enough. Who in this watching this video would say that $96 million wouldn't be enough? Just keep in mind, you only need $2.5 million to survive on for 20 years. So how is 96 million not enough? Oh, you need to be the highest paid for the respect? Like that really matters? Or is it just greed?
He said, I ain't gonna take, David straight up, he said, I ain't gonna tell you not to take 97. And then I was like, but do you think I can get more? I said, you think I'm worth more? You think I should get more? He said, me personally, I'm biased, but yeah. I said, all right, tell him no, we're gonna wait. He said, and David told me straight, he said, I just want to let you know.
And that right there is where your agent can possibly be screwing you over. Like, obviously you can get a little more, but like, maybe you can't, maybe you can't. Couldn't. But like, what is the point of an extra 4, 5, 10 million when you have 97 million? Does it really make that much of a difference? Like at that point, it's like, what is the point? Because even if you do end up being the highest paid corner, someone is going to jump you. So you're only going to be temporarily at that point. Like the market gets reset every single time. So it's kind of like, what's the point? Just take what you can get and move on.
You know, they said this was their final offer. So when I tell them no, I'm not going to call them again.
Yeah,
right. If they want to do something, they're going to have to call us.
I'm not like Chan. I think you'll get another 100 in 2 years.
Oh, yeah, man.
About another 100 in 2 years. But aside from that, I want to go back to family real quick. In the off season, you do a lot of things different than a lot of players. You train with your pops and your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that. Do you think it allows you to maximize your potential?
Yeah. Because don't nobody push me like them. Nobody push me like them. I can get over on somebody. I can get over on somebody else. I can go one of these places. I can get over on somebody else. They don't really know. Man, this tough, man. I ain't gonna do that last set. They gonna be like, all right, Jalen, because the check's still clearing for them. They happy to just have Jalen in the building anyway, working out for them. Pops like, nah, we ain't on that. My brother like, you suck, like, we ain't on the rise. Let's go, right?
Has it always been that way from Pop Warner to now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. See, and another thing is when I'm around them, that's instant motivation for me. Because, like, my pops, he sacrificed so much and still made things happen for the fam. Yeah. And then my brother, that's, like, my biggest inspiration, biggest motivation, biggest everything in my life. So if I don't, I feel like if I don't overextend myself and give everything I got, I'm letting him down. And that's like one thing that I don't ever want to do is let my big brother down.
So speaking of like letting folks down and money, and we've talked wide receivers and all these things.
So if you feel that way, why were you playing so horribly in the Super Bowl? Why were you not playing your technique when you were supposed to and giving up big plays? So do you feel like crap now?
You know, you mentioned earlier Vaughn.
Yeah.
We talked about the Rams selling out Matthew Stafford, going to get him. But y'all brought OBJ in. And I feel like OBJ gets a bad rep. And this is like my LSU thing. What did he mean to the team? And do you believe he's a guy that they want back and will be back?
Man, he meant a lot to the team. First of all, he meant a whole lot. Just because, one, he a dog on the field. You got to talk about performance. We in a performance-based industry. He a dog. Like,
straight up.
He really that dude that, all the highlights, everything. He's still that. You know what I mean? He's still that. It's just when you're a receiver, you do have to have a certain chemistry with your quarterback and your offensive coordinator. It got to be, it got to be a right situation for you, especially when you're on that offensive side of the ball. And he hasn't had that in a little while, but he's still him for sure. Like he do some stuff that's like we be at practice like
right. You see it.
He does like it ain't many that athletic, like that twitchy, run good routes, hands crack. Like he really that one, right? So he brought that juice. People didn't. Well, maybe people did, but man, in the playoffs, man, we was getting O the ball early. O was really that igniter for real. Like even the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. O was really that
First
igniter.
touchdown.
Yeah. O was popping it off. O was like we was feeding him getting crunk, and then we was rolling.
Yeah.
Like off of O juice. Like that's really what was going on. And then he got hurt, and that was tough. It was tough, and then you could tell it was tough. Even the game.
When you saw that, what did you do? When you saw O grab that knee?
Man, I was hurt instantly.
Yeah, you guys know when I made that video, I made the video right when it happened, and I thought it was a fake injury, and I still think it's a fake injury. A lot of these injuries in the NFL are made up just to make up a story and let these guys go off and have everyone miss them, and then they come back, land on the team that they want to be. It's all an act. They do it in the WWE often. I mean, sometimes they're injured, but a lot of the times it's a fake injury.
I was hurt too, bro.
Hurt for him, not only because, honestly, I think he would have. Everybody know about Cooper Kupp, obviously.
Yeah.
Monster. But no. Coop really real life Billy Hope.
Oh, he like that.
Like white man can't jump.
He
like
really
he
like
be out
that.
there saucing folks, dog.
Yeah, he nice. But if O could have kept going that game, O
MVP.
probably would have been Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. Because he,
All right, he's probably saying that because he knew that information. That was probably information that they gave to those players. So that tells me that the injury was probably real, because the fact that he's saying this, that means he knew that he was supposed to be the Super Bowl MVP, so they gave it to the next best player when he got hurt. That's what I'm assuming right now.
and I ain't taking nothing away from Cooper, but O was really living like that game.
Yeah.
He was on another level, for real. And then knowing that he was going to be a free agent too, all of that, was like, dang, man. I hated it for him. Right. But everything happened for a reason. You know what I mean? And because of that, hopefully we can get him back.
Right.
And
You gotta call him.
man,
You gotta call. I ain't win no Super Bowl. RC won a Super Bowl.
I did.
Fred,
It's only two Super Bowl champions in the room.
Because you was at Jacksonville. Jacksonville never won a Super Bowl. So I know you ain't win one. But even in Miami, bro, I was there 6 years, and I had, I had me some.
Hold on, you talking?
Hey, it's hard to win a Super Bowl down in Jacksonville and Miami. The weather is always nice. The women are so beautiful. Like, there's so many distractions, man. It's so hard to be good down there. It's like a vacation all the time. And you're rich and young. Like, it's tough.
About me, y'all ain't been to playoffs.
No. I've been to the playoffs. I'm a Super Bowl winner when it comes to women. That's what I want to ask Jalen about. When it comes to
And why would you brag about being a Super Bowl winner when it comes to women, especially when you're married? That just sounds crazy. That just sounds like a simp. Don't chase women. Go chase your purpose. And when you get to your purpose, the women follow. Because if you don't have a purpose and you're just chasing women, you just look crazy out here. Like, no, don't do that.
women, I'm a Super Bowl winner. Do you like your woman to keep her stuff fresh?
yeah.
But do you keep your stuff fresh? And that's what I do.
Who wouldn't want their woman to keep their stuff fresh? No, I like my woman to have her stuff nasty and stinky. Like, come on now, that's crazy.
Bro, call
And yourself.
Manscaped. I keep my thing good, and it makes that.
All right, I'm sorry you guys have to listen to this. Like, I don't know why they're talking about this. This is absurd.
a man look strong. Because it adds 2 inches to the back end. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that's true, but you gotta keep your shit clean.
You gotta keep your thing fresh. You can't have no big wolf coochie.
You gotta keep your shit clean.
You don't want no wolf
Especially
coochie.
you expect her to keep it clean. You gotta keep it clean.
You gotta keep it clean. And then if you think about it, if you put a little dog in high grass, you don't see but his head. But if you put a dog in low grass, you see his whole body.
I got a point.
And if I pull out my whole body, man, listen, David.
Well, they've been talking about this for how long now? Let me move up a little. This is kind of crazy.
And on my thing, you always number one. I need you to give me your top 5 receivers and your top 5 corners.
All right, here we go. This is what we want to hear.
Ooh, it's tough because I ain't guard everybody, obviously.
No, just what you see, watching film,
All right,
what you feel.
Devontae Adams,
Okay.
Tyreek Hill.
2.
They might be interchangeable though.
1A, 1B. We go 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I might have 3 number ones.
So you know if you give me 3 number ones, still only 2 other people you can add.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. My 3 number ones probably Devontae, Tyreek, and Debo.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about Mike Thomas?
He ain't play last year. I thought we was talking about last year.
Yeah, so last year,
All right,
Mike.
go ahead. You got 2 more.
Them 3 for sure, because they changed the game, and the offenses. Honestly, the offenses are structured around them.
Yep.
Wherever they are, the offenses are structured around
I
them.
agree.
Tyreek is put in multiple positions to where they make sure he get the ball. Same with Devontae. He's motioned all around, put in positions where he can get the ball. And not only that though, they're in favorable matchups. But if they do get the top dog, they win. They can win.
Yep.
Exactly. They can win those battles too. And then Debo, what he's doing.
So he's basically saying that they win on him all the time because he's the top dog. So, and then what's happening? There's evidence to show it.
Like all over the field, running.
He
back.
just admitted it.
He gotta be right there with him. 4 and 5. I definitely got Cooper Kupp.
Yep. Okay. It's 4.
5 might be a little tied too.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go Odell.
I like that. That's what I was waiting on.
Actually, I'm gonna go Odell 4. I'm gonna go Odell 4.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Stephon Diggs.
Tell you can't get 18 people, bro.
All right, that's disrespectful to me. He names Odell higher than Cooper Kupp. When Cooper Kupp was the Triple Crown winner, that's kind of disrespectful. He's your teammate as well. Like, that's disrespectful. Only Jerry Rice has done that. I feel like you can't disrespect Cooper Kupp like that. Like, if I'm Cooper Kupp, I am pissed right now that he's doing this to me. OBJ had literally a quarter of his stats. I know, granted, he only had so many games, he was injured, but that's not Cooper Kupp's fault. Cooper Kupp was there all year. Like, he did something that was only done one other time. And he won the Super Bowl MVP, and you're going to tell me that OBJ is better than him? Come on now.
I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, and
No D-Hop?
he didn't play a lot this past
Well,
year.
yeah, he's hurt last year.
So here's what I say was telling about that to me.
That's last year.
That you moved Odell to 4. And what that tells me is what I've always said. When you see great players, I got to play with Sean Taylor, I got to play with Troy. I saw them do more stuff at practice that people cannot do than what I saw in the game. And so okay, that's your 5. So now,
I mean, that's cool and all, but there's something called practice players and game time players. Me, I was never a good practice player, but when the game showed up, I always came out. So that, like, I don't put too much on practice. Like, I mean, some guys you can put stock on that, but there's something called a practice warrior where there's such good players in practice, and then game time comes, they can't do a damn thing. And then there's something called the complete opposite.
give me the next 4 after Jalen Ramsey.
Corners?
Corners.
I like this.
Tough too. Marshawn Lattimore,
So you're 1.
for sure.
Yeah.
Me, Marshawn, X.
Trayvon.
I love how they paint the narrative and say that he's number 1. How is he number 1? Just because they say so? If you look at, like, tape and you look at these guys, he is not the number 1 corner. There are at least 5 other corners that are better than him. He's just on the better team. If you switch him out with Xavier Howard, all these other guys, any other guy, Tre'Davious White. Actually, he'd be fine on the Bills because they're a good team. Any of these corners that he's going to name, you put him on their team, it's going to be the same. If you put him on the Saints are going to be the same. They're not going to be any better. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think he's number one. He's probably top 10, but you got to think of all the corners in the league. There are 64 starting corners in the league, right? Because there's 32 teams, so times that by 2. So there's 64 corners in the league that start. I don't think he's number one out of those 64. He's definitely top 10.
And then I'll go.
What's the boy from Buffalo?
He ain't play. He was hurt last year, but I would. He would have for sure.
No, he's top 5.
He for sure top 5 when healthy.
He's top 5.
JC
but this
Jackson.
this year I would have probably did Trayvon and JC.
Okay.
But man, I'm a different type of style of corner though. Like if I'm picking it, man, it all depends on schemes and who you basing it on, what you know what I mean? If you
See, you can't be number one if you're saying stuff like that. Oh, it depends on scheme. I'm a different type of corner. That means you prefer to play a certain type of way. So you can't be number one if you're talking like that. A number one corner in the league says it doesn't matter where I play or who I play or what technique I'm in. I'm gonna be the best. That is the best corner. That's what Dion would say. That's what Darrelle Revis would say. That's what Sherman would say. All the great guys at number one at their time would always say that. They wouldn't talk about this crap right here.
If you want high risk, high reward, I'm gonna go Trayvon, JC. You know they got high risk,
jump all the routes.
Yeah, they gonna jump all the routes. But if you want to go somebody who like, all right, I'm just gonna.
Okay, Jalen jumps a lot of routes and takes a lot of gambles too, and he misses on a lot of it. We saw it in the Super Bowl. He takes gambles too, and he doesn't always. He's very few of the times does he come up with the ball. I mean, he comes up with it sometimes, but not as much as he's making it seem. Imagine if they lost, we would not be talking about him like this. We'd be ragging on him. He didn't have a good Super Bowl. Are we joking ourselves? He gave up all the big plays.
Him on the number one guy, and he gonna strap him. He'll probably make some plays when they come to him, but he ain't never gonna force nothing. He really ain't gonna give up many plays. That's why I'm going like the me, Marshawn's, Tre'Davious. Like Tre'Davious, it's kind of a two different tiers of how we play. Like I ain't gonna lie, I hate it when people compare me and Trayvon. We play completely different. Like I always play out of phase, he always plays in phase.
That's kind of BS. They both play cover 3 zone a lot, and they both play the shuffle run technique a lot. They're both, he's kind of capping right here. I've watched tape on both of them. They play a lot of the same technique. Because the Rams, they don't play man defense often. They play a lot of zone, as do the Cowboys. They don't play a lot of man. They play a lot of zone because they want to see the quarterback so you can jump the ball. That's what they want because Trayvon is better in zone. Trayvon gets beaten, man, with the double moves because he's so aggressive. A lot of corners do.
Well, also, Trayvon gave up over 1,000 yards.
That's because he always plays in phase, but he also
he's saying it wrong. He plays inside technique. In phase, out of phase, that means when the ball's in the air. Out of phase means you're behind the receiver and you're chasing. In phase means you're on top of the receiver and playing the ball. So that's completely different what he's talking about. Don't listen to that. He's confusing y'all.
had 11, 12, maybe 13
You got to make 12
That's
picks if
crazy.
you give up the most yards in the league.
But he plays different though. He plays in phase. I play out of phase.
And they ask him to do different things. But I mean, like he says, it's different. Like the way they play the same technique, they just play it differently. That's what he should have said. They play the same technique, but the way they react to it is different. That's what I should have said.
You take chances.
No, he said he does.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Trayvon takes chances. He's trying to get the pick sixes. Jalen sometimes does, but he'll just come up and make the play. That's what he's saying.
some people take chances, some people
there
don't.
are
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a difference it's a different style of how he plays. I agree. If you are a guy who plays in phase a lot, like he does, you're gonna have to have a lot of picks, which he does though.
Yeah,
he does. So it's working out for him. He's one of the best at doing that. Same with JC.
He does. Yep. If we're looking at
but JC in New England, they play completely different. They are a sound team. He's not like Trayvon. The way JC gets his turnovers, it's through scheme. And a lot of these quarterbacks, I was watching his tape. A lot of the quarterbacks threw the ball right to him. It wasn't him jumping around or anything. Some of them were, but a lot of his interceptions were bad balls, bad reads, and him just making a play on a terrible read. But I mean, I see what he can say, what he's trying to say here.
As a whole, the person, the player, the future Hall of Famer. Who is that man?
Child of God, really. It's like the first thing that always come to my mind is child of God, and I let everything, my whole journey, my whole life flow through that. Like that's the main thing. Being a child of the Most High, being a good father and a family man. Like honestly, my daughters could care less that like I'm an all pro or you know what I mean. My daughters was calling the Super Bowl the supermarket for 2 straight weeks. Like, they didn't know. They like we going to the supermarket. I'm like, yeah, baby, what you want when we get there? A bite, some candy, like that's and I enjoy all of that. I'm like,
all right, we can stop here. They're basically closing it out. We don't got to hear the rest of it. But yeah, this is a nice little insight of the way Jalen Ramsey thinks. And I got a lot more good things coming up for you guys. Until next time.